What is going on, guys? Welcome back to part 5 of the YZ250 build. We're going to get started by replacing the wheel bearings in these wheels. We just need to heat up the hub with a torch so they come out a little easier. We'll just flip it over and get the other side now. And I know my rim is super bent, but we're going to be getting some new ones pretty soon, so I'm not too worried about it. So you want to take the chisel and move the spacer to the side so you can get a bite on the bearing and just smack it out of there. It should be pretty easy once you heat it up. And then once you get that one out, you can get the other side pretty easily. Just like that, it's done. So you want to grease up the hub here before you put in the new ones. Also heat it up. So I left the bearings in the fridge overnight to get them really cold, so they're just going to fall right in here. It's going to be really easy. Once you get it lined up, find a socket that fits around it pretty good and just start to tap it in. Once you get it going in straight, just pound it in till the end of the hub. Okay, on to the next side. Same thing, grease it up, heat it up, line the bearing up, and tap it in. You want to also make sure you put the spacer in before you put the other bearing in, because that would be pretty bad. Alright, now we're going to get the front tire on. So we're going to start to push the axle through. There's spacers that go on each side, so make sure you have those in before you start to put your axle on, obviously. We're going to also put the front brake back on. Super easy, just 2 bolts right here. This bottom bolt is special because it's tapped on the end, so you can put the plastic protector piece back on. Alright, we got everything tightened down, the axle nut and those 2 bolts for the brakes. Let's go ahead and get this shock in place. I started with the top bolt first. It was the easiest one to get lined up, and it was kind of a pain to line this thing up. I also put new bushings and everything in the shocks, so that might be part of the reason it's kind of hard. We'll get the electrical system all wired back up. It's got this little rubber grommet that hooks up to the side of the frame, and the coil just bolts in right here. We'll throw on the radiators too while we're up here. They're pretty easy, it's just 3 bolts, and they connect through the middle of the frame. This side leads to the top of the motor, and the other side leads to the water pump down at the bottom. We'll start to get this back brake back on. So we just got to put the pedal on and put the cylinder back on with these two Allen key type bolts. Here's the little reservoir, or whatever you want to call it, and it connects straight to the cylinder part of the back brake system. Alright, let's go ahead and throw the pipe on. This is my brand new FMF Fatty Gold Series. So it just bolts up in two places and uses these 3 springs. So here's the old Airbox from the first episode. I don't know if you remember it. What you say? That you only meant when. It cracked off right here at this piece, and I wasn't able to find a new one online or a used one that shipped to my address. So we're gonna try to fix it. The way I'm gonna try to fix it is by using my soldering iron, and I'm gonna try to melt these two pieces back together. I don't know if this is going to work out or not, but we're going to try it. So I went ahead and tacked it in that one spot first. And this is just a piece of plastic, a black piece of plastic I've found laying around. And I'm using it to kind of melt into the crack. And I'm also melting the plastic around the crack to try to form one piece of plastic again. These fumes are horrible too. I would highly suggest wearing a mask. Alright, so here's what we have so far. We're going to start melting the plastic into my little bead I got going to try to strengthen it up. Sorry for my heavy breathing. I didn't want to breathe through my nose because this stuff stank. But I'm pretty sure this is pretty poisonous. We're also going to hit the underside of it to make it a little stronger. So here's what I got. It's really strong, it's really stiff, and it's going to be covered up by the decal anyway, so I'm pretty happy with it. I went ahead and connected it to the subframe to make it a little easier to install. Now I'm going to bolt on the subframe. So we've been getting rain like every day, and it's been hard to make videos, so yeah. Alright, so there's our repair. You can barely notice it since it's so close to the frame. But here's what we got done so far. I think we made a lot of good progress. The only thing we have left is to get the back tire on, the gas tank, carburetor, and the plastics and handlebars, and it's ready to kick over. I think next part's going to be the last one.